believe Donald Hicks is his name, and he has school supplies for teachers, and they're free to teachers. And so he's trying to build this warehouse, so to speak, full of stuff so teachers can come in and get things for their classroom and not have to pay for it on their own. So we gave $2,000 to that. $2,500 to Rug Theater at Hickory Community Theater. We've done that for several years now. $1,035 to Longview Elementary for a news studio. They'll do all their announcements and produce news programs and everything at the school. So they're going to make a little news studio, and they needed some equipment for that, some cameras and whatnot. And $2,472 to Southwest School for elementary school for an outdoor classroom. Those two school grants were part of the Hickory Public Schools and Educational Foundation. Did I say that right? And they are giving out grants. So you're welcome. I'm sure that Sandy and Guy would take your money to go to that foundation as well. And you've got an event coming up on the 30th.
We do. Actually, a week from today, we'll be recognizing the grant recipients, the teachers at Loretz Middle.
So a lot of good things going on with that. As you know, the government can't afford our schools, and we need to pitch in to make them first class.
Yes, they can.
And we need to. Well, it's either roads or schools, Lamar, right? Lamar has specific ideas about that. He'll be glad to share them with you after the meeting. Okay, also we're going to sponsor 2 RILA students this year instead of 1. Last year we were unable to do one because they had the RILA during school. Didn't work out too good. So we are going with 2 of them this year. I don't know if you've gotten that word, Tony.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, great. So we got 2 more things to do, and very important things. We're going to talk about strategic plan. We got 3 things.
3 RILA students.
3 RILA students. I didn't even know that. 3 RILA students, did you?
Need some applications.
Okay.
1 and possibly 2 that need applications.
Okay, we are charged with having a program about the Rotarian magazine, and we tried to get somebody to really give a great magazine committee report, and everybody was intimidated by the ghost of Earl Roberts. Some of you, if you've been in the club for a while, understand what we're talking about. But Earl annually would give a magazine committee report, and it was entertaining to say the least, and as well as informative. So we didn't get anybody to do that, but I am going to give you a little quiz, and there are prizes involved that I'll hand out. And every table had a crossword puzzle that came out of the Rotarian magazine. So I don't know if you knew that you crossword aficionados had every month a chance to fill out a crossword puzzle. And that's part of the Rotarian magazine. And they're not always really easy because they have a lot of Rotarian stuff that you're supposed to know that's sometimes it's hard to do. So if you brought your magazine, it was pretty easy to fill out because you could cheat. And I also helped you by filling in a lot of the blanks automatically. So did anybody fill one out completely and correctly? You got one?
He's almost done. How about almost?
Well, that's as close as I got. Anybody almost got it filled out?
Almost worked for me.
You can take them home if you want. All right, that's going to be close enough. All right.
Go, Rick.
So this table gets a Pez dispenser,
It's a scabbard.
complete with enough Pez stuff for maybe everybody. And I did a little research on the Pez dispensers, and you might know that in the SpongeBob SquarePants series, Underwear Bob is worth about $8 now, if you have one of those. And if you have an Elvis Pez dispenser, it's worth between $5 and $10. And if you have one of the presidents, it's worth $2. So, not sure where that goes. if you have one of the, it's a rare limited edition Republican elephant Pez, it's worth up to $25,000. So check your drawers, that way you're at home. I'm sure. And you got one of those. Okay, who can tell me where, who's on the cover?
Jeff Bridges.
Alan, got it first? Don't have a dispenser, but you got.
Doesn't have his head, doesn't have his head on.
Why is he on the cover? Hunger. All right. Who is the Rotary, RI president? RI president.
David Moore.
Yeah. Who said that?
Gary Brown.
He
I
said
was
it?
reading the sign.
Oh, no.
That guy hung out.
Who said, who said it?
David Moore.
Gary.
Gary, Gary
Oh, Gary,
Wang.
see,
Actually,
that's, you got it. My contact's not good.
all right, give me one place that President Gary has traveled this month, this past month. South America is good. He had about 6 countries in South America. So, he actually visited Nepal, Taiwan, Brazil, Ecuador, Chile, Argentina, Iceland, Bahamas, Washington D.C., Italy, Uruguay, and Orlando. Pretty busy month. Okay, there was someone featured from North Carolina in the magazine. Who was that? Where's she from?
Anna Jones from Durham.
Anna Jones from Durham.
Had just opened up that page.
And Anna is in the Durham Rotary Club, and she made a film about her dad, who was the first black school board chairman in North Carolina. There are 3 people that are featured in Advertise for Polio Plus about being this close. Give me one of them.
Gates.
Who?
Oh, Andy Punjabi.
The other 2 are Jackie Chan and Archie Punjabi. Okay, where is the RI convention this year? Claremont was a second. Okay, what was the longest article in this month's magazine?
The motorcycle one.
Motorcycle, who said that?
Bruce.
Bruce. The International Fellowship of Motorcycling Rotarians. It was about 10 pages, a lot of pictures.
I'd rather have a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Michael Black.
So if you're a big motorcyclist, then there's a way to get in touch with some international riding of Rotarians.
I guess we might read the magazine.
I'm saying, absolutely. Okay, and finally, which NBA Hall of Famer wrote an article? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He has written articles before.
He does a time article.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously, there's a lot of stuff in the Rotarian magazine that you need to read, a lot of good information, and really, it is a pretty good magazine. I mean, I do read it. There's a lot of sometimes inspirational stuff, sometimes leadership stuff, and as well as some interesting things that's going on in RI. So we encourage you to, you don't pay a darn thing for it, so read your magazine. And on the front of the cover, you actually find out what your number is. If you ever wondered what your RI number was, but you need to get on DAC-DB, then it's on the front of your magazine. You'll see a long string of numbers, and the first 7 significant numbers, so there's a bunch of zeros you don't count. And after that is your RI number. No guarantees on the Pez. They've been in my drawer for about 6 years, so only thing I can find. But, okay.
In your drawer or your drawers?
in my office desk drawer, yeah. Okay, Susan Huffman is coming. We're gonna take, gosh, it's 5:10. We're gonna take about,
We're gonna change it up.
we're gonna change what we're doing because I failed to leave her time. But it's very important.
No, you're fine, but what we're gonna do is, as you guys remember, we had a meeting where we talked about the WIGs, the wildly important goals. And so I'm heading up WIG number 4, which is serving our community at home and around the world. We were tasked for, survey the club to determine if it wants to continue our focus on education or pursue another area of need. So that being it, you will see on your table, there's a yellow paper, but there's white papers saying the exact thing. There's 10 sheets of each. If you would just distribute it to each one at the table. And there are 12 moderators. If you would stand, we're just gonna kind of, the 12 moderators. If you would stand and everybody go to one table that has people at it. There should be 10 or to 12 tables there. There's 12 different tables, but one moderator at a table. Okay, the moderators will have the yellow sheet, and they're just going to summarize your discussion. Our concern is that we don't have a lot of time to discuss, and this is a very important direction. By surveying the club, we'll find out if we want to continue in our path of education with the focus on early childhood education, or are we going to go somewhere else? If we continue on this path, or whatever path we find from surveying our audience, then we want to use that to help brand us, to help find our story, to help cue in for fundraising, things like that, that we can try to solidify. But we want to give enough time, and that's where it kind of fell a little short today. But what we want to do is start the discussion. So if you would, complete this brief survey, and we're going to probably do this again as well, and because certainly look around, we don't have a full audience as well, but we will at least get a first glimpse at what our path is, and then we're going to do it again, because we want to make sure we have enough time devoted to this pathway, but this will start it. Now, we only have probably, before you do the SASREF, probably 4 minutes or something. And so we're just going to at least start a cursory look at it. We understand you're not going to be able to write all your comments and everything now. You feel free to email me. Bruce is going to put it on the web to come around to everybody. He'll email this out to you. You may want to take more time in the evening one night and complete it and bring it to Rotary next week. We'll go back and look to see when we can meet again. But we definitely want to give this enough attention because it's very important. And so, again, our main idea is, do we want to continue on our path of education with a concentration in early childhood education? That doesn't mean that we don't give to other ages, that's just our concentration.
You got one too?
We have $3,109 in the pot today. We took in $95, and we have 13 cards and 1 joker.
All right, over $3,000.
I would. Darn, I don't have a ticket in there.
Got everybody's attention, didn't it? $1,500. All right, the winner today, 9200797. 9200797.
Say that again.
Lisa. There you go. Pick one. You only get one. It's the Joker. All right. So you get some money. You get what? Today's pot? Or, today's pot, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Get today's pot. So, see Dan Kirby. You'll figure out how much you get. All right. We don't mind those kind of winners. We just don't want anybody taking advice. All right. Next week, don't miss. Okay. Bill Parker is going to be here talking about CART, Coins for Alzheimer's Research Trust. He is a powerful speaker. You will be entertained and moved. I really urge you to be here for that presentation. He's really passionate about it, but he is a tremendous presenter about this, and will talk to you about what's going on with the Alzheimer's research, which affects all of us. So that's next week. Also, we'll be inducting Anthony Laxton next week. Okay, thanks for being here a little extra, and a lot of things going on. It's a great day to be a Rotarian for sure. Stand with me, we'll adjourn with the four-way test. Because the things we think, say, and do is it true?
Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?